Hello, good day everyone. How are you doing? So, this is IPSAS 43 Leases, a practical session. Sometimes you might meet challenges where the lease period mismatch with your annual period, with your annual reporting period. If that happens, what will you do? Or suppose your CFO asked for monthly interest accrual on a yearly paid lease. Do you simply take the interest rate, for example, 10% and divide by 12? Or if he asks for a quarterly report, what will you do? Or is there a smarter way? So let us build together. These are the facts. The facts of this question is the lease term is 2 years. The annual payment is 1 million. The annual rate is 10%. The EIR. The annual rate is 10%. Then you are required to calculate the annual, monthly, and quarterly. And remember, this lease payment is in arrears. Arrears is the lease you pay at the end of the period. What's our challenge today? Compute the PV, the present value, build the amortization schedule, convert the 10% annual rate into correct quarterly and monthly equivalents, and then we reconcile and see if all the periods reconcile. Okay, let us set up together. On setup, by the way, I have already done this Excel. So let us recalculate. Let us recalculate on this side. So annual, we know the rate. First, the task at hand is mostly on getting the conversion rate, that compounded rate for the quarterly and monthly. So now we have the annual. How do we get the quarter? We say is equal to 1 plus R power the period minus 1. So 1 divided by 4, bracket, close the bracket, minus 1. That is the quarterly, monthly interest or quarterly rates. What about monthly rates? Same logic, 1.1 power R, power the period, 1 divided by 12, and 2, close the bracket, minus 1. So now we have the monthly. What if you divide, what if you say, since it's quarterly, what if you divide, say, is equal to 10 divided by 4? You will get 2.5. But this 2.5, when you compound it, you will get 10.8. But if you compound 2.4, if you compound 2.4, if you compound 2.4, you will get 2.4, say power 2.4, you will get exactly 10. You will get exactly 10. So, because of that compounding factor, you cannot just divide by, even though the figures are nearer to one another, closer, then you can't use that. So, we have gotten this for quarterly and this for monthly. The periods we know, annual, it is 2 years, time is 4, 2 times 4 is 8 for the quarterly, then 2 times 12 for the monthly is 24. That is our period. We now have all our tools. Let us calculate the present value. For the present value, this is how we do it. We say is equal to PV, and then PV, open and close the bracket. We start with the rate, 0.1, point 1, comma, 0.1, comma. What else do we need? We need the number of periods. For 2 years is 2. Then the payment is 1 million minus 1 million. And then you close the bracket. Mostly the PV calculates automatically for in arrears. In advance, then there's a way to do it. Okay, that is the amount. That's the amount as our present or initial lease liability. Now let us calculate quickly the annual. We started with the opening period. So interest, we multiply this times the 10% and lock this cell. Okay, then you just drag this. You just drag this. Then you say this is equal to the previous period balance. Minus 1 million is the payment. Minus 1 million is the payment. Minus 1 million is the payment. So now we are done with the annual. Now we're done with the annual. And normally, please note this period, opening balance, interest, this is the schedule, amortization schedule. So leases, loans, all of them are amortized. Let us go to quarterly. We will start with the same opening balance as the annual, but the interest factor is different. I don't know how we will arrive at this. If interest is different, then we lock this cell. Same way, we lock this cell. So this one, we take the previous balance, and then I double click this. I double click, sorry, I double click this. I double click this. I don't know why this Excel is misbehaving this way, but that is how it is. Minus 1 million. Where do we place it for quarterly? That's the question. We will place it at the end of every quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will place it here. We will place it here. And then the last one, we will place it here. We will place it here. So now our figures are 0. Let us see if it has balance. Is this 264? Is this 264 same as? Is this 264 same as what we had on the annual side? If the answer is yes, then we can proceed. 264, 462. 264, 462, 2 million. Okay, thank you. So let us move to the monthly. Monthly, we will say this times this rate, and then we lock the cell. We lock the cell. So, and then this is our opening balance, will be our closing balance. Will be our closing balance. I double click this. I double click that one. Let me double click this both. And then payment is after 12 periods, so minus 1 million, because after every year, so it is the 12th month, at the end of 12th month. That is the first 1 million. That's the first 1 million, and the next 1 million is at the end of the period. At the end of the period, this is the other 1 million. So now let us look at the reconciliation table, because it seems all have balance. All have balance. So now, if you look at all our figures, the annual interest is this, the quarterly interest is this, the monthly interest is that. The total payment is just 2 million, and then the opening balance is the same. Now we have reconciled. Now we have reconciled. So why this matters? Economics don't change with frequency. The lease liability is the same as asset, whether you report annually, quarterly, or monthly. If you don't get that right, then there is something wrong with your calculation. Use the equivalent, not the proportional rate. Don't use, like, say, 10 divided by 12. That is wrong. Or 10 divided by 4. That is wrong. Payment timing anchors the balance. Look at, when do you pay? You should not start at the period. Even if it is 2 years, don't start at the period. Follow if it is in arrears, and then calculate the number of those years into quarterly or monthly. For quarterly, if it is in arrears, then it is the fourth quarter. For monthly, it is the 12th month. So consider that. The final closing balances must be always be 0 in leases. This is the backbone of IPSAS 43. So please master this, and let us meet again in our next tricky example. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy your day until we meet again.